not, I've been in a rickshaw.
No way.
Yeah, right. Okay, it was at the Renaissance Fair.
Okay.
And this was a time when I took my grandmother. She's a very, very lovely woman, but she can be stubborn, just as anybody in my family really can. So we took her to the Renaissance Fair. I had a big kind of itinerary planned out in my head, and of all the things that I wanted them to go see. And we went to the left instead of the right, instead of that kind of, counterclockwise circle that everybody goes to.
So many people have made that error. Yes.
Well, anyway, the point is that
Common
we went this way because I wanted them to hear the carillon, which is a giant piano made with bells in a cathedral. And it's really pretty, highly recommended. It's gorgeous. The guy was actually on America's Got Talent. He was being made fun of, and it broke my heart because it's actually really funny, really good show. And so we go in. The first thing that shows up is Shakespearean acting. Okay. And my grandmother decides, after talking with this guy, that she wants to go see this. The name of the show is Testicles and the Sack of Rome.
Yeah.
At what point is there a rickshaw? I've been to that medieval fair. I'm not remembering rickshaws anywhere.
Were rickshaws really in favor in medieval times?
I don't know, but there was a rickshaw at the end of this.
Now, was this a guy named Rickshaw?
No, it was a guy pulling a rickshaw, and we paid him $30 to take us to our car.
$30.
Wow.
Everything in the Renaissance Fair is a ripoff.
Yes.
And my grandmother, was, 75 at this time, and was pretty dead, so we paid for the money.
She was still alive.
Oh, thank you.
She is actually still alive. At the taping of this episode, she is currently alive.
Hi, Granddad.
Hi, Grandma.
The mere concept that a rickshaw is a thing that exists blows my mind. To be like, I don't feel like walking, but I want you to walk and to pull my ass around. That's crazy cakes.
Well, see, the coolest thing is they can haul ass in that thing. They run. You pull them on there, and they just whoo, and they basically, once they get momentum, they can just go.
I feel like it should be called a rickshoe. Is that?
Why?
Shoe.
They do kind of yell, rickshaw, rickshaw coming through, rickshaw, rickshaw, because people just have to clear out of the way because you'll just run them right over.
Huh, that's more maneuverable. I suppose you can stop a little faster because you are your own wheels.
I don't know.
You're the engine.
Then again, if you're the one taking the rickshaw, you're not the one providing wheels. Yeah. And I have no idea why you would be the person running the rickshaw if you actually had to go somewhere. Seems like...
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to leave that behind at the same time.
I guess.
If you commit to bringing a rickshaw, you got to take the rickshaw wherever you go. I don't think there's a point where you just abandon the rickshaw for a little while and hope that it'll be there when you get back. Because if I see a rickshaw unmanned, I'm out of there. Me and that rickshaw are probably going to be making $30 a fare.
If you steal a rickshaw, you're immediately going to be pulling people around. It's almost like you're stealing a job. You're not stealing transportation. You're stealing like a way to make a living.
It's instant employment.
Yeah, in this economy,
Yeah, there's this. I'm trying to see what the downside of this is.
In that case, why don't we see more rickshaws around?
Maybe because nobody wants to pay for them.
New government department of rickshaws. We'll have 100% employment. If you're unemployed, you get a rickshaw, and then you have a job.
So you got the rickshaw manufacturing wing. And then you've got...
Absolutely.
Okay. No, I think that this could go places.
We'll need a way to distribute all these rickshaws, so we'll need some kind of giant rickshaw.
Oh, that's right.
To
you
carry
just
the
pile
rickshaws.
the rickshaws on the... At what point do we stop talking about
10 by 10.
rickshaws and start talking about wheelbarrows? Because I think there might be an overlap on that.
Wheelbarrows are the anti-rickshaw.
It's
Rickshaws
like
carry
the
people
front.
behind you. Wheelbarrows carry things in front of you.
Sometimes people in front of you, but that's an abuse
That's
of the
dangerous.
wheelbarrow.
There are no seatbelts in a wheelbarrow.
That's true.
Are there seatbelts on a rickshaw?
If it's a good rickshaw.
I don't think there were.
If we have a department of rickshaw regulation in the government,
Absolutely.
it's going to require seatbelts.
No, that's
Absolutely.
True. Click it or rick it is how the thing will go. It'll be a sticker.
And no hood ornaments, because those are dangerous. You absolutely cannot be wearing anything on your nose while you're pulling the rickshaw.
It's true. Texting while rickshawing? Right out.
No, that's not going to fly.
No.
Actually, nothing about a rickshaw flies, but
They're very non-Irish.
That actually might be the next pioneering direction.
A
Wait,
dude
wait.
with a jetpack with a rickshaw.
Oh, this is getting sweet.
You gotta remember where the jetpack exhaust goes.
That's fair point.
That's into the rickshaw
point.
at this juncture.
You just have to have the rickshaw handles long enough. Or you have to have a separate jetpack for the rickshaw, or it's going to be hanging down. That's terrifying. No, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
No, then it goes from rickshaw to wickshaw, and you just light that sucker and
Like a firecracker, a firework. And you just light it and you let it go, and then you have people attached to a bungee cord on the end, and then it gently whisks them away. And then when it explodes, they can land.
nothing about this sounds gentle.
Yeah, that's,
If you wanted gentle, you shouldn't have made Rickshaw Incorporated fireworks.
I feel like
Well,
that's
that's
a
on me.
that's a completely different mode of transportation. I mean, you used to have those, like, you'd hook up a string with a straw and a balloon on it, and you use the balloon as propulsion. I feel like that's what we would have there, only
Yes.
with firepower.
And if the balloon exploded at the end, that would be a perfect analogy.
And we call it rickshaw.
A Hindenburg Corporation.
You're a genius.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is in the future.